recording, start. Um, no, what I was mentioning was the dot loop with Holly. I didn't see the invite, but I'm planning on attending that at 10:30, assuming that's
Yeah,
still a go.
I didn't
So
see it either, and so I'm glad we got that straightened out. I saw your reply and then I needed to reply to it as well. Or I mean, I replied to it, but I forgot to reply all. So I said, yeah, as long as we're done with this, then I'll jump on that meeting. But remind me when we're done with this meeting because I'm so scattered today with packing for summer meetings, doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Moving agents over to Epic.
moving age over to Epic. When are you going to summer meetings?
I don't even know. I haven't even like I
Okay,
signed up for it and put it on my schedule and I haven't even looked at it ever again. So,
yeah, because I'm going. I'm not going tonight because now we have a soccer banquet, and then I'm going with Matt and Tara to the 9 o'clock class tomorrow.
okay, I think I might have signed up for that.
Yeah, it's 9 to 11, basically something about, business through the change of NAR settlement stuff. And then I
I
think we're
think I
doing
signed up for
lunch.
that. I'll
Yeah, and
have
I
to
think we're
look.
doing lunch. And then after that, I don't know how much longer
We
we're going to be
just
on there.
got a text saying it's waiting on the host. It started.
I started
Are
it.
you? Oh yeah, we have a participant. Let's see if she's in. Yep, she's in. Okay,
Okay,
cool.
sweet. All right.
The one that texted me is in. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Um, we'll give it a couple, like another minute. We can start at 9:35. Just
that's
make
what I
sure
was kind of
everybody's in
thinking.
here that needs to get in here. We did start
Okay,
it a minute or two
9:35.
late.
So yeah, Randon, myself, Matt, Tara are going to that 9 o'clock class tomorrow in Coralville, and then doing lunch at that's 9 to 11. And I think we're grabbing lunch there. There's something where you can fill it out to say you want lunch there, and then I think all four of us are heading back after that.
Okay.
So I think that's our
How far is
itinerary.
Coralville from Cedar Rapids?
To that place, I mapped it's 36 minutes from my house.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's like almost equidistant to my house.
well, you're probably like an hour and what, hour and 15 hour?
I would say it's like more close. I don't know. I thought it was closer to 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
But I live
we're
right off
leaving
of
from
I-80, so.
Matt's house, so it will be 45 minutes from his house because he's
Mm.
further in town. I'm closer to 380. So yeah, I guess it's only about an hour and a half to your place, so 45 and 45 would make sense. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yep, similar distance.
Cool, cool, cool.
All right, so it's 9:35. So we will let's get this started, get it kicked
This
off,
party started.
get the party started. So thank you for those who are attending on this Epic Explained. A couple quick notes, and then we'll do introductions. So when we go through this webinar, one of the reasons we do in a webinar format is we want to keep it anonymous for the people who attend. That way, we know that sometimes researching different firms, you don't want everybody in the world to know that you're researching this. So we choose to do it in a webinar format that allows you to stay anonymous. When you are asking any questions, there's a Q&A section you'll see. If you want to ask us a question, you can fill that in, and then there's a check to say anonymous if you want to say anonymous. We obviously are here to protect your anonymity. I couldn't say that on a Monday morning.
Nobody can. I
Um,
mean,
yeah,
it's a
I try to
mean
take up too
word to make
too
up,
big of
you
a
know.
word on a Monday morning. But we want to protect that, that you say anonymous. And so if you have questions, definitely do that. You can also reach out to whoever invited you here. You can reach out to us if you have questions afterwards. But we're going to be watching that Q&A as we go through the slides. Because depending on the questions you ask, will probably drive some of the content we drive deeper in. We want to bring value to you on the benefits that you find valuable to yourself. So with that being said, let's do a little intros and I'll let that broker girl start.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, you
I
can do the intro
am
first.
Sandy Lynn Burnett. I am that broker girl. I've been in real estate for 8 years now. It's crazy to even think about saying that. I'm a veteran. I'm a Marine veteran, so I do focus on helping people maximize their veteran benefits. I can help agents learn about doing that as well. I also, my strengths are social media and branding, and I like helping agents learn about that as well. I was with my previous brokerage, EXP, which was another cloud-based brokerage, for 6 out of my 8 years in real estate. So I had no, I mean, I was not looking to move at all, completely happy where I was, satisfied where I was. And it had to be something that would completely knock my socks off. And so here we are. And without further ado, my good buddy JJ.
Yes, JJ Johannes in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City markets. Been involved in real estate for 21 years, really dating myself there. Been a real estate agent for 12 years, a real estate broker for 10, had my own independent brokerage that I ran with another gentleman, Tim, and moved to EXP in 2019, right before the pandemic hit. Like Sandy mentioned, I had no intentions of ever leaving EXP. That was not on my radar for 2024. And then the lady to my left on my screens, Sandy, introduced me to Epic, and she said that it knocked my socks off. I researched EXP for about somewhere around 20 months or so. Before I made the move, I researched Epic for 2 days, like 20 hours, like 2 days before I made the move. And so we're going to get into some of that today and talk about, why we made the move. But, let's jump into some of these slides and go from there. Let's see if I can get sharing right. I seem to mess this up. For somebody who's a tech guy, that's my background, by the way, is technology. I can sure mess up technology at times. So anyway, obviously, first slide here is pretty self-explanatory. The second slide, and this is a big thing I want people to think about, is at least for me, getting into real estate and then having in my own independent brokerage, I think for agents being part of a brokerage, you think about, well, what is my cap and what is my split? That's pretty much it. What other fees do I have? Maybe I get a few things from that. Maybe I get an office space, or maybe I can use a copier, but like beyond that, you don't have benefits, and you may not have a lot of support that helps you as an individual person and your business. And so what I want you to think about as we go through these slides is, imagine if your brokerage provided you benefits like the ones we're going to go over and supported you as an individual, as a person in your family, and also supported your business. So with that, I'll take the first slide here. So transactional benefits, and you can read through these and we can touch on some if there's questions, but transactional benefits, how I like to think about this is, obviously as a real estate agent, we're in the business to do transactions, right? That's how we make money in real estate traditionally. So when I say transactional benefits, it's when I have a buyer under contract, when I have a seller, I'm going to be listing their property, or if I get that listing under contract, what are the things that my brokerage, and for me specifically Epic, what are the things that they do to help me through that process? So what Epic provides is free listing photos, free yard sign, a free sign installation and removal. There's also a free sign rider that you can get. So that way it's customized to you. Free listings, social media ads, just listed, open house, price reduced, that run for 7 days. A free listing billboard, that one's coming soon in the fall. As you can see a picture on there. It's going to be able to highlight that property on a billboard. And a free TC, a transaction coordinator, contract to close, helping you take that load off of you, worrying about making sure everything's in order, checking in with the lender, checking in with the escrow company, someone that helps you kind of coordinate and get everything through to the finish line. So previous brokerages I've worked at, including my own brokerage, the benefits I offered to agents in my brokerage, there was zero of these. I'm looking at them again to make sure. Yes, 100% zero of those. Didn't pay for any of those things. So
How much did you pay for your transaction coordinator when you were paying for one?
$400 a transaction.
And I was just like, when I was paying for my own social media ads, I was paying about $120 for like a 3-week ad. So I was just looking at that as well because I would run them for every listing, you know.
Yeah.
So um one thing that I want to say about this is everybody says it takes money to make money, especially in real estate. And a lot of times, especially when agents are just getting started or in this economy, like I hate saying words like in this economy. I hate how I even have to say that. But I love that we can take a listing, if we're in a bad spot and know that we're going to be able to take care of our sellers and make their house look amazing.
Yep. Yep. And um, that transaction coordinator service, I use that at Epic, and so far I have no qualms about it. It is something. I am not paying a transaction coordinator anymore. My goal, at the start of most years is to do 50 transactions in a year. That's literally a $20,000 savings right there.
That's
So,
awesome.
yep.
Cool.
All right, no questions on this slide. So we'll go to the next slide and I'll let Sandy take this one.
Okay. So how about business benefits? Um, like there's all these extra expenses that it takes just to do business. We're not even talking like your listings and things like that. How about to renew your license? I am licensed in both Illinois and Iowa. Some people are licensed in multiple states. So I have to pay to take all the CE courses that I need to renew my license. Epic pays for every course that you need to renew your license. I also get my own. So not only do your listings get billboard presence, but I get my own like face on a digital billboard. You can see that down at the bottom of the slide. So I'm getting advertised as well. I do get, we get free leads at Epic. It's dumped into a lead pond. I've had those, given at previous brokerages, but they would charge an extra split, an extra referral. These leads that we get at Epic, you work them, and if you close them, you don't owe any additional split. They're just provided to you, paid for by the company. Free digital business card. JJ knows I love talking about that. I even have a class on it if anybody wants to take it. It is amazing. I've been using digital business cards for years, and it can do so much more than just download my contact. There it is, right there, Popple. And you can tap it against somebody's phone. But what I like to do, pro tip, is I don't even carry it around. I just say, let me text you my link. And that way I'm in control with following up with whoever I just made that connection with. If you hand somebody a paper business card, I don't care how great it just went, how great your interaction went, you just left like your fate in their hands. And that's why I love digital business cards. Free, and then we've got like extra benefits at the bottom there. And if anybody has any questions specific to that, especially once you're with Epic, we can certainly help you with that. Those are just amazing benefits that they keep adding as well. Oh, and the free headshots, AI headshots. I've never even messed around with that before. Everybody comes out looking amazing. Like, how does Matt Clark look good in his headshots? How'd that happen?
His comment on those is, I don't work out that much.
But that Mr. Rogers look though.
Yeah, not the Mr. Rogers one, but the other one. He's like, man, I look like I've been working out. The other
Yeah,
thing is
yeah.
with the free headshots, maybe we can get rid of the high school graduation business card photo, like the business card that you have from someone that was literally from like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I've had that. I go to meet somebody for the first time and I've seen their online profile or business card. I'm like, is that you? Like, am I talking to the right person? So,
What happened? That's the best.
what time?
What happened?
Yeah. All right. So no questions on that. So we'll keep it moving. All right, technology. So we're leave the technology slide to the technology guy, I guess. But so another thing to think about is, what does your brokerage provide you? What benefits do they provide you that help you succeed in your business from a technology standpoint? Obviously, there's so many things in technology that are moving businesses forward, helping automation, doing different things. But how, like, previous brokerage, we had a what I would call as a clunky CRM, and I actually moved over to Lofty over a year before I moved and was paying for it monthly. Because I didn't feel like it was the CRM that we had previously just wasn't a good fit for me. I didn't feel like being someone who built databases and websites in the past, it just wasn't streamlined enough for me and wasn't as efficient as I wanted. But what is it that your company is helping provide you, your brokerage is providing you to help you in this technology, basically business that we have, right? And so with Epic, they provide you with a free Lofty CRM account, and it has AI integrated with it, which is awesome because what that does is when you have a new lead come in, it'll engage with that lead and try to convert them. You get a customizable IDX website. You can go look at mine if you want, the johannesgroup.com. That is a fully customizable IDX website from Lofty. You get a free vanity domain. So what that means is sometimes you'll pull up someone's site or they'll send you a link to their website and it's Jane Doe, period, ABC brokerage, period.com. So they are advertising the broker more than they're advertising themselves as a business. The vanity domain, like in my example, is the johannesgroup.com. That is something I can point that domain to it, and they will give you that for free. A lot of other places charge, and well, Lofty charges, but Epic pays for it, but there's usually about a $25 fee for that. Free social media
Per
management
month is what I was paying, 25
per
bucks a
month.
month.
Yes, yes, that is a great point. It is per month. For free social media management, so there's a social media tool, Social Bay, where you can have automated content created for you, pick which content you want to post or not, what you want to customize it. It's up to you on that. Automated posting on social media isn't always a great algorithm thing. That broker girl could talk more about that, but you can turn things off, turn things on. You can change what gets posted on there. But
I
it
do
helps you
want to
in
say
creating
something about
content.
it. I've noticed that people that are utilizing Social Bay and their free social media management properly have really leveled up their social media game because the posts that they're posting that are getting engagement, they took my advice and they're utilizing the Social Bay posts that are getting engagement, like the market updates and stuff. And then now that their social media is coming to life again, they're motivated to go out there and create more content. So it actually has been working for them because they're supplementing, because they're motivated and creating their own content, which is getting more likes and engagement as well. So
Yep, exactly. Sometimes it's having something that gives you a stepping stone to kind of move to the next level, right?
totally.
Free Canva Pro. I'm assuming most people on this call probably use Canva. It's probably the most popular tool for creating different content that I see out there from graphics and stuff like that. And so you get a pro account versus a free account. And so you get access to the different pro tools that you paid basically access to some of the different tools that Canva has. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, oh man, I already have a pro account, so I can cancel my it's like $12.95 a month, $13 a month subscription, and I'll have my own personal one. And then I found out it's actually a shared pro account, which my first reaction was, well, that kind of sucks. And then after a couple of weeks, I'm like, well, this is awesome because I am not the most creative person. That'll be anybody who knows me. Like my creativity on like graphic stuff is not good. I can be creative with technology and solutions, but not that part of it. So I get to go in there and I can see all these beautiful things that other people create. So now I get to use R&D, which is rip off and duplicate, and I get to put my own twist on it, right? With social media posts, they have, there's just everything out there from buyer guides to seller guides to all these different things. And people are creating stuff that there's no way I would come up with. And I'm like, that is great. I'm going to
Like
make a copy
gorgeous
of that and I'm going to
videos,
tweak it to my own.
offer cover letter templates. They had and then it's also preloaded with all kinds of like epic, offer accepted templates, and their beautiful branding is already preloaded in it as well. And so I had, it was like when we switched to Epic, it was not even a big deal to like convert our branding and level up our branding because it was already preloaded in the Canva Pro account. It made it so easy.
Correct. Yep. And the last one, free virtual staging. I played around with it. I have also played around with it on a site called Box Brownie. It is like $6 to $8 per photo to have virtual staged. This is a free benefit that is provided by Epic. Developed in-house, and so you can go in there and remove stuff. You can add stuff. It's another great service on technology. Anything to add? I'm also looking at the questions. No questions yet. All right.
Nope, I've got those open too. No, I mean, said what I gotta say. So growth. This is incredible. Like it just keeps like slapping you in the face, everything that they do, right? The free coaching and mentorship for life. That's like, I think near and dear to both JJ and I's hearts because, you know, honestly, when I first got into real estate, I didn't realize how many people were going to be like selling me a bunch of stuff, how many people wanted something from me. I tried to like relate to, I would find somebody in a podcast that I would relate to, and I would hit them up and they're like, yeah, I will coach you for 5 grand for the first month. And then then they're like, kind of dickheads and stuff. Like when you actually, never meet your idols, right? Um, Epic actually pays for your coaching. This is a company paid thing. Okay. And also, when I was at my previous brokerage, it was like, you know, you would get mentored through your very first 3 transactions, which you had to pay for, by the way, yourself. Surprise, 20 extra percent. Um, and then we all know that as a new agent, like 3 transactions is not going to cut it. Like you don't know everything right after 3 transactions. So the free coaching and mentorship for life, it's whether it's your first deal or your 100th deal. Are you trying to level up? Are you trying to, get more work-life balance? Like what do you want in your career? That is what your coach and your mentor is there to help you do. So also Epic pays for programs. They have bought actual programs and certification programs for us, the agents, to take. Earth to Orbit. I actually looked these programs up outside of Epic because obviously it's a free benefit to us. That one was like $400 a month, 395 or something. The Agent Hub 360, I'm very excited about. It was, well, by the way, Earth to Orbit is like all about being a real estate agent. It's like role playing and scripting through every type of scenario. So that's really, really cool. And then Agent Hub 360 is about the business side of things, your financial health, right? Don't be the chief everything officer, like get your business together and automated. We have a free AI certification program. We are an AI company. We are very tech forward. And so, we want you to not be intimidated by that. And so it's a paid for certification. And then we get company stock as well, which we can talk about later. I think we should talk about that. Are we going to talk about that now or later, JJ? I forget. The
Later.
the stock benefits.
Later.
Okay. The stock and the revenue share are like amazing, amazing benefits, and it just totally takes the guesswork out of things. We do have a question though. Someone looking to be a referral agent, does Epic offer anything for them? So, as far as I know, you're either an agent or you're not. So am I right with that, JJ?
Yeah, that's my understanding is you have to be actively licensed, right? So you have to
Yeah.
have your license active and paying the whatever board you belong to, the dues and stuff like that.
And with
But,
the next benefits, I think that are next, they might want to be an active licensed agent with Epic.
yep.
The next slide, JJ.
Oh, I didn't know you were ready for the next slide
Leading
already.
into it.
Yes. Well, the next one is personal benefits.
Yeah.
So, all right.
This would actually make up for a lot of the fees if they actually utilized it. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Um, so the next slide here, just talking about the personal benefits. So again, how this is a completely new paradigm to me, right? So have my own brokerage, being at different brokerages, well, this is only the third brokerage I've been at, but you have, they'll have different technology, they'll have different, perks and stuff like that. But nobody that I have seen before, even other cloud-based brokerages, even touched on the personal benefits, right? Which is this is taking care of you and your family. So there is free healthcare. This is not health insurance. This is telemedicine with a primary physician and urgent care. This is free to you. You can add family members. I have all my family members on there. So it's $20 for the first person, $5 for each additional person. Free prescriptions. So there's a prescription discount card, but also lots of the prescriptions can be delivered to you for free. One of the agents or team that's going to be moving over or has moved over, and we're making that announcement hopefully later today. They had me check on like 3 or 4 benefits, and all of them are free versus what they're paying for them currently. Free
And
pet
Holly, our
care.
managing broker, she just posted,
Oh yeah,
0000, her migraine prescriptions, like her bupropion, like, and she was just like, this saves me $600 a month, so.
yeah, that was
Also, Holly said
incredible.
that pet care she thinks is launching this week. So I'm super excited about that. I've got 2 labby labs down here sleeping,
Yep.
but
So the pet care is a telemedicine again. Televet, I guess, would be maybe the right word for that. So you get that free telemedicine, televet access for your pets. It's unlimited to dogs and cats. Just FYI on that. Um, the next 2 are, I say they're combined from a cost perspective. So these aren't free dental insurance and vision insurance, but they're deeply discounted and they're combined. So it's $25 per person. And yes, you can sign up your family member, your spouse, dependent, stuff like that. And it includes dental and vision. So it's both of those. I currently and it's through Delta Dental on the dental side, and that's who we currently have. Family of 5, we pay $223 a month. I looked that up. Through this, it's going to be $125, but for that $223 a month, we do not have vision at all. As obvious, pretty obvious because I have glasses on. I have glasses. My wife has glasses. So we save $100 a month and we get additional coverage, which is awesome. And the vision includes glasses and
and
contacts. A lot of
contacts.
vision plans, or you can pick one or the other.
And it's contacts for the whole year. So like
Yes.
I only got contacts like for my current vision insurance, I only have contacts because I do disposables and it lasts me like 2 or 3 months. And that's all I get for the entire year. This is contacts for the entire year. So,
Yep. And then for the person who asked on the referral, there is someone else who's in the chat saying they have a referral status. It's not through Epic. They have a referral status company that is set up that someone could go into that. Then you wouldn't pay the NARS and dues and stuff like that. So just FYI, whoever asked that question, definitely feel free to reach out to Sandy or myself, and we can get you connected to that person possibly. So then going back onto the free ones, the free roadside assistance, and that is coming out like if you have a vehicle that breaks down, not breaks down, car battery, flat tire, runs out of gas. As Sandy likes to point out, I have spent a couple times heading to bail my kids out for dead car batteries and jumping those. And so this is it's coming soon benefit on this one as well as the insurance, the dental and vision insurance. Those are all been announced at our conference at the end of April. They're all coming soon here this year. But that's another one. It's free and it's for all of your dependents, kids, spouse, free for all of them. And so that is another benefit I'm really looking forward to because that would save me hours a month, I feel like right now, unfortunately, because I have 3 kids who drive. And so that can take a lot of my time. So
mm-hmm.
the last one, which is the one that seems to be getting the most social attention, is free car washes. Um, and I love the benefit. It's a perk that I have a truck, I hunt, I'd show houses on gravel roads. I'd probably go to the car wash once a month, maybe. I go at least 5 times a week right now. Like anytime I am driving by a car wash, if I've been out someplace, I might take a route to get by one. But I drive by in the area that I'm at, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 car washes that I can go to. You go through a national company. I've chose Mr. Wash. Tommy's is another one available in our area, but I picked Mr. Wash. And again, I just pull up, it scans the sticker on my vehicle, and I go through, and I know it feels like a little thing, but for me, I love that after I go through, if I go to a place where I get mud or gravel on my vehicle, I can go through that because my truck is my mobile office. It is that first impression. We talk a lot in real estate about, curb appeal on a house. It's their first impression. Well, what's our first impression when we pull up and our vehicle's dirty and messy? And so I love that they take care of that benefit for me. And was not on the top of my list of benefits I thought I would use when I moved over to Epic. And it is the one I probably use more than any benefit almost.
Love it.
Anything to add on that?
No, sir.
So, all right, we'll go to the next slide then.
Love
This
this
one's got all this
slide.
stuff.
Good
Yeah.
job, JJ.
What's that?
I said I love this slide. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, so we make the joke like, wow, with all those benefits, they have to be charging you at least 50%, right?
50-50 split.
Right? And so I said in a recent video that a long time ago, I would say you should be demanding more from your brokerage than a 50-50 split. Well, now, it's time to demand, a good split and benefits. And so we get an 85-15 split, which is even better than the brokerage that I came with. So that was moving on up. And then the monthly fee is as low as 99 a month. And we say that because you could either pay a year up front and it's 99 a month, or if you're a team member, it's 99 a month. Okay. Otherwise, it's 149 a month if you want to pay it just monthly. Okay. And then it's a 0.1% transaction fee. This is the sales price. So if you sell a $150,000 house, just take away the zeros, you're paying a $150 transaction fee. This is per transactions. That is it. There's no like extra E&O stuff, broker review fee. There's nothing like no other hidden stuff. Okay. That transaction fee, the most you will ever pay is $500. So if you sell a $700,000 house, you're capped at $500. And by the way, once you've paid $5,000 of transaction fees in that 1 year, if you're really killing it, then $250 is the highest transaction fee you'd pay. So for my spreadsheet nerds out there, I just wanted to make that super clear. But yeah, there's no hidden fees, there's no desk fees, annual fees, gotcha fees. There's none of that. There's only a one-time join fee. I did want to say that, and that is $99. Okay. There's declining caps. So you start at 15,000, and then next year it's 14,000. The year after that it's 13,000. And then finally at $10,000 cap, you are locked in for life at the company at a $10,000 cap. And it is not based on whether or not you cap that year. It's based on your loyalty to the company, just simply being an agent with Epic. Company stock, we mentioned that we do get, what were you going to say, JJ?
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, I don't know of a company that has a declining cap. One, and then two, it's just a little thing, but a lot of things with Epic, it's just simple and it makes sense. Like I felt like at the previous brokerage, not to bang on that brokerage, I felt like we had like 5 or 7 different fees. I didn't know we were paying a risk management fee, we were paying a broker review fee, we were paying a capping fee, we were paying like there's just these different fees where it's really simple with this, right? You have your monthly, I call it your platform fee to get access to all these benefits, and then you're going to pay a split while you're capping. And then when you're not capping, you don't pay that anymore. And then you're always just going to pay the 0.1% transaction fee. Drop off the last 3 zeros of the number, and you sell a $250,000 house. As Sandy said, drop the last 3 zeros off. It's $250. It's very simple to calculate. Like, what am I going to net after this? Before, like I'm one of those spreadsheet nerds, by the way. And like I have a spreadsheet that was set up to calculate all the different things at the previous brokerage. So I knew what I was going to make on a transaction. And could simplify my spreadsheet very easily down to figure this one out. It went from like, I don't know, felt like I had like 5 or 6 calculations till I got like 2. Am I capped? Yes, no. What's my transaction fee? That's it. I mean, just it's just simple. So,
It's awesome.
yep.
And, the stock awards are great and they make a lot of sense too. And another great thing that our company does, so you get free stock awards. Now you get stock when you join the company, you get stock when you close your first transaction, you get stock when you bring somebody into the company, you get stock when you cap, and then you get stock when you get what's called our power award. Our power award, again, they've totally uncomplicated this. Okay. It's either 24 transactions or 10 million in a year. That's it. Um, that's it to qualify. But what's really neat is team members can now qualify for the power award. They can take advantage of that as well, because all you're doing is you're getting your stock back or your cat back in stock. Um,
Yep.
do you have anything to add to that part of it, JJ?
No, I again,
Okay.
I go back to I say no, but then I think of an answer. Yes. The thing I would think about, again, we're going over like what are these benefits? So how many retirement parties have you been to for people in real estate? I know in our area there hasn't been many, and sadly there's been agents who have passed away, and I'm like, I thought they just had a listing last month or 2 months ago, right? And so what is your broker doing for you to set you up to be able to retire? Like we're independent contractors. Typically there's no health benefits. There's no retirement benefits. There's no 401k, right? And the way I look at this, so I came from director of IT for a financial services company. So I was kind of knee deep for several years, neck deep, whatever you want to say, in financial services and retirement plans and stuff like that. And so this to me is like an ESOP. It's an employee stock option plan where the next part gets into buying it, but we get stock in a company that plans to go public in a few years, that for doing what we're already doing. Like, it's not like I'm going out and selling Girl Scout cookies to my neighbors. I'm doing real estate. That's what I do. And so I get rewarded with things that are going to help me retire so that someday I don't have to do 50 deals, or maybe I don't do any transactions. Like at some point, I think that's our goal in life, right? And so I like that the company again has another benefit that is pointing towards a North Star for us to retire and save up some money. So that's what I had to say.
Well, and I want to talk about the purchasing of the stock and the plan to go public real quick. So, um, every company, when you're getting in early, you get to buy stock at a deeper discount. Because when I was first at EXP, I could buy stock at a 20% discount. Now it's down to a 5% discount. So here at Epic, you can buy stock at a 20% discount, and that's super exciting. Um, the only way to buy stock is by being a producing agent with the company. You cannot buy stock outside of the company, because we're not publicly traded. We're pre-IPO. So, just like the slide says, do you have a plan to go public? That is the plan, is to go public. However, what's great is we're not controlled by outside investors like some other brokerages have been. So we plan to go public when it makes sense to go public financially for the agents, and make it a good thing. Okay. So let's move on to rev share. No frontline qualifiers. In my previous brokerage, I had to unlock tiers. I had to and then it was so stressful. Once this tier was unlocked, I had to keep it unlocked. And maybe I had to, almost if I was going to, maybe I had to compete with the people that were under me in order to keep my tiers unlocked. This one, we're 5 levels deep. There's no frontline qualifiers. All tiers are completely unlocked. And it's so easy. We know how much we're going to get paid. It's 10% of the company commission. If you're a $15,000 cap and you have capped this year, I know, and let's say I sponsored JJ, so I know this. And if JJ sponsored you, JJ's getting paid 1,500, I'm getting paid 1,500. And we just know that. And so it's so uncomplicated and we can all celebrate that. I was just talking to somebody, and with the buffering at the other company, they have never ever made the 2,800 that they thought they would make on one of their agents. They only made 2,200 at the most one time. And it's just like crazy to me. So this one, I just love like how uncomplicated it is. And it's like, what's 10%? 5 levels of 10% adds up to 50%. It's so easy. I can't, like, how did I not think of that?
Yeah.
So no restrictions, and you can attract anywhere across the country. So I mean, I have attracted in Ohio. We're about to open in Ohio. I've attracted in Texas, and we've attracted, like all over the place. I can't even think of everywhere, Wisconsin and obviously Iowa and Illinois. So Kentucky, Indiana. So we're super excited and we love growing, and we love we're open in a lot of states, by the way. So if you're wondering if your state is open, definitely hit us up. And if it's not, we can let you know like how close it is to opening.
Yep. Yep. And again, not the simplistic approach to it versus now for the people who don't know, like that frontline qualifier, I think can be confusing if you haven't been in a revenue share part. So if you had someone in your front line, we were at the same broker previously, we weren't aligned as we are now at the previous brokerage. But if someone is in your front line, they named me a sponsor, they had to do at least one transaction every 6 months to be a qualifying agent. So I had to have 5 in my front line that named me a sponsor to get my level 2 opened up. But if all 5 of those had to have done a transaction in the last 6 months. And so that was that stress of now you sponsor people, you help support them. They might not do a transaction for 6 months because they have other things going on or whatever's going on in their life. Like, again, not having to worry about that. That's a factor in how much revenue share you get from all the people that you support as a group. Because I know for me personally, and I know Sandy well enough to know this as well, and saw her do this, is we support people in our group regardless. Both of us were not even close to fully benefiting financially from all the different tiers and all the different people that we supported because of the no frontline qualifiers. Where at Epic, we benefit from everybody we support, and we didn't support anybody any less because we knew we were getting pennies on the dollar for the support. It's just nice that we get rewarded by a company for doing what we've already been doing for years.
Well, I have an agent on this webinar right now, and shout out, hi girl. But we've talked on the phone several times when, we were at EXP together, and but she was a couple few levels below me, and I don't think I ever made any money on her. And I would always take her calls. We would always, chat when we needed to, and whenever she had like wanted some advice and things like that for a particular transaction. And I was always her cheerleader, but it just wasn't set up that way. And it was fine. But this is set up to be a lot more exciting,
Yes.
and for us all to win, basically. So it's awesome.
Agree. That financial alignment is a big thing.
Yep.
All right, so I'll touch on teams real quick, in an essence of time. If you have questions about teams, definitely reach out to whoever introduced you to Epic or pointed you here or to one of us. There are different teams. There's a family team on the far left, different than some brokerages. It doesn't have to be a spouse or domestic partner. It can be anybody in your family. So like my son's getting his license, we could technically form a family team. You share a $15,000 cap that does not decline. You both pay $99 platform fee. The power team in the middle, this is going to be for teams doing high volume of business. I think it's 140 transactions is what you have to have done in the previous year. The team member is going to have a 15K declining cap, or the team leader is The team members are going to have a 5K cap and pay $99 a month. And then a traditional team, which is for a lot of people going to be the most frequent one that they're going to potentially join. The team leader, $15,000 cap, but that declines each year. They pay a $149. I didn't want to change that tech fee to platform fee because it's just way more than a tech fee to me. They pay a $149 platform fee, and then the team's members have a 10K cap, so they go right down to that 10K, and they pay $99 a month. And the big thing with all of these that Sandy touched on with the stock awards at previous brokerage, if you were on a team, you had to either decline the decreased clap that you could get as a team member, or you could get a power to get their award, which is similar to the power award. Otherwise, if you took the decreased cap, you couldn't get any stock awards. Where this, everybody is eligible for a stock award, which I think is a great benefit.
Wonderful.
Oh, here's the big question. How is
Yep.
that sustainable? Sandy, how is it sustainable? This was my number one question to you.
I mean, and it was my number one question as well. I
Yeah.
could not wrap my head around it at first. And it's so easy once it's broken down. To me, it's so easy. So to me, my short answer is that the revenue share, first of all, the 5 levels of 10% each add up to 50%. So they're giving away no more than 50% of the company dollar. And then the rest of the revenue, that they either keep for the company or it pays for the mentor coaching for life and the brokers, the managing brokers. Okay. In the company paid positions, right? And then the monthly fee pays for all of our tech and platforms and stuff. And then the transaction fees pay for our benefits. And then we're a national company. We are debt free. The question was, how much debt does Epic have? We have been debt free since gosh, I knew this a long time ago, but it was like
I think Agent 50, wasn't it?
Agent 50. I knew the number was 50,
I
but I was
think
like,
it's
why is
Agent
50
50.
standing out in my head? Agent 50, yes.
Yeah.
Um, and so the transactions, the transaction fees pay for the benefits. Now, what's really neat is Epic, since we're a national company, and they're killer negotiators, okay? And as we're growing and gaining more agents, they keep going back and renegotiating these national contracts. So these, like, a car wash membership costs me here $35, but it doesn't cost the company that, right?
I've heard like
Obviously.
$6 or something they negotiated down to.
I no, I it's
Have they
less
gone
than that,
lower?
and
Yeah.
these companies sign NDAs as well. And so the other neat thing, I was actually talking to Mike Blake, who's in our upline, and he's on the founding members board, but he says, like that he's involved in some of these negotiations, and he said that it's really neat watching what the company does because other brokerages will take a cut of whatever's being offered. And that's another way that the brokerage makes money. But our brokerage will say, whatever cut you were about to give us, why don't you go back and figure out a way to make this whole thing cheaper for our agents and then come back to us with your best deal? And so that is how we've been making it so sustainable. My third answer to you is that this whole thing has been set up from the very beginning. At the brokerage was set up from the very beginning to offer benefits to the agents. It was built like this. So another national brokerage, there is no way they could just randomly start operating like this. It would be insane. That's why they can't comprehend it being sustainable. But since Epic was designed like this from the very beginning and built like this from the very beginning, that's how it's running comfortably. What say you, JJ?
What say I? It's the foundational part, right? So they built on this foundation of offering these benefits. And so the thing that took me a while to understand as far as the profitability was how clean and simple they made the revenue share, right? So 50% goes to the company and then 50% goes to revenue share. Now the 50% of the company takes some of it, they pay like the mentor area leader part. There's, if you're a power agent, you get double on the front line. Like there's some places that goes, but they're keeping that part of it. And then the other thing, the transaction fee, it took me a little while to kind of understand how that is all in the mix, but I think this slide kind of puts that together beautifully to me, which is the transaction fee and the monthly fee, that platform fee that we pay goes to give us all these different access to tools and benefits. And one of the things that was very telling to me that really stood out, two things when we were at PowerCon. So one, there was like 4 or 5 vendors that came up there, and every one of them commented on how good of a negotiator Josh was, who is the CEO. So they all wanted to make sure that we understood that Josh negotiated and went to bat for us as agents to provide us these benefits at a very low cost. Because what Josh had said at one point in the conference is they went in there with their number, and if they couldn't hit that number, then they would just walked away. Like, if we can't get to this number, then we're not going to offer this out. The other thing that I had never thought about, even after joining and sitting in this PowerCon conference at the end of April, which, by the way, the conference was free for us to attend the conference, which I paid
Yeah, that's another
$800 to.
crazy, incredible
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I paid $800 plus to go to a previous company conference where I was an icon agent. So they, when they get to another tier or level of agents, sometimes their cost goes down because now we have over 2,500 agents. We're going to be I think this year will become the largest client that Lofty has from a brokerage perspective. So when they get a cost savings of $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever per agent, I think some companies would go, okay, well, that will go to the bottom line. Epic doesn't think that way. They go, oh, we save $3 per agent. Well, what benefit could we give them for $3? Like, they go find another benefit. And that is something, it just gives you the mindset of the foundation that they've built around these benefits. And the debt question that someone answered is very on point, that they've been debt free from the beginning. From 50 agents on, we're at 2,500 agents. They don't have debt. They don't have outside investors. They've just built it this way, and they've stuck to their guns on building it this way, going forward as well. And the last thing I mentioned, which isn't part of the two, which is on the fact that when they get that Sandy was talking about, like some companies will take, okay, well, if you give us this amount of benefit, we'll give you this cost, and then this number will go to you as a company. They push back on that. But there are some benefits where I think there's a couple of them. I know the mortgage one, and there's another one where they're like, no, we have to give you this money. So they don't even take the money. They put it into a pool for the area leaders and people like that to put on events to help the agents. So if they have to take something, they're like, well, we're not going to take it as a company. We're just going to go put this in a pool over here. So if Sandy's an
Yeah,
area
and
leader, which she
we
is, and I'm
actually
an area
forgot to
leader and I have an
mention,
event, I could get money from that to put on a better event for our agents.
and we did forget to mention that pain point that's solved. A lot of people at these other cloud brokerages that, name a sponsor somewhere and then they feel like they're alone on an island. That's another thing, that these company paid positions, these mentors for life, they are actually physically near you. They're in your area, okay? And they are what's called an area leader, and they bring everybody together in that area. It doesn't matter who sponsored you. It doesn't matter who you named, and they have these events, and that's part of their job, is to bring everybody together in real life events, to host trainings, to host like fun events. It's awesome. It's a great pain point that was resolved. Like, they really thought of everything. I did want to touch on another, like, two things that I thought of. And one thing I heard over the weekend was, there, I keep hearing about, like, oh, well, Epic didn't invent, you know, revenue share, and they didn't invent, the downline, and they didn't invent stock and things like that, right? And I also heard, and this was like amazing, it really blew my mind when I heard this. If you take away rev share and you take away stock, what is your company offering you?
Great way to look at it.
And so that really got me thinking. And then the other thing is I absolutely loved Matt Clark's rant, and I will never forget that rant. And Matt Clark's a good friend of ours, and he came over with JJ. JJ and Matt Clark left a combined amount of probably $50,000 worth of unvested Icon stock from
Mhm.
EXP to come over to Epic. So they really saw the vision, right? And Matt, when he just really got going with the, well, what if the stock doesn't take off, and what if the company, isn't sustainable and all that? And he goes, okay, guys, well, I'm getting free signs, I'm getting free listing photos, free leads. And he just kept going and renaming all these benefits. My CEs handled, my free TC, all this stuff. And he goes, if the stock doesn't take off, or if one of these other things doesn't work out, and in the meantime, I had all of this working for me for my business, I'm feeling pretty good. So that is because we are a pretty new company. And JJ, like when we got involved, there was less than 1,000 people with this company. Now we're sitting at closer to almost 3,000 people. We have tripled in size in less than 6 months. So we're like exploding. This is really we're getting on the map here. We're getting taken seriously now. We're gaining market share like crazy. So yeah, those are just a couple of things that I wanted to just rant about at the end.
Yeah, no, and I think you're right. I hadn't thought about it quite that way, but and that was a little bit of a pain point for me at the previous brokerage, and I didn't really think about it until I was, that you brought Epic to me, was that for the agent that wasn't iconing, and the agents in my organization that weren't iconing, like they had an 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. Outside of that, I don't know that they had great benefits. I mean,
Mhm.
CRM system was okay. I didn't really personally like it, but I think it was okay for most of the agents. So, but there wasn't a lot of benefits. And that's why when I looked at this, and I know I told you this, like if I didn't feel like there was a benefit for every agent that was in my organization to move over, I don't think I would have moved. They're my family. Like I want to take care of them. I want to make sure that they have benefits that they could see that are valuable to them. And like I said, I don't know how many benefits we have now, 37, 50, something like that. There's all
There's
these
no way I
different
could keep
benefits.
count. How nuts is that?
Yeah. Yeah. It just, they keep adding. I think there's another one coming up on our Wednesday call they're going to be announcing.
Yeah, they're very
They already
excited
have,
about it.
they have like seven benefits ready to announce next year at PowerCon. And so they just keep adding benefits. And so when you look at it that way, it's, part of Matt's rant was like, because him and I and Tim had sat down and talked to a couple local brokerages, one in particular who heard that we were potentially leaving and wanted to give us a pitch. And they called the stock a lottery ticket
Mhm.
and said, well, that's a lottery ticket. You don't know if that's going to hit or not. And that kind of got Matt going, not in there, but on the rant, which is like, look, if this lottery ticket never hits, which I think it very well could, but if it never hits, then I'll just take my free car washes, my free sign photo, my free listing photo, my free sign, my free installation of the sign, the free health care, like the free car washes. I'll take all those benefits, which I don't get at any other brokerage. No other brokerage is offering me all those benefits with the low split and cap. Well, high split to me, but low split to the company. And if the stock doesn't hit, I'm still good because I got all these benefits anyway. And if it does, even better. And that was kind of part of his rant, which is if all you're focused on is the stock and revenue share, which is great, you're missing the point of what it can actually do to help you in your business and save you money. Like for me personally, I walked away from over $20,000 in EXP stock. When I left, that was unvested stock I walked away from. I have done some calculations and it's close to $30,000 a year I'm going to save in benefits.
That was
Not a
exactly,
hard one to figure out.
that's the exact number. I have an agent, an icon agent who is coming over, and that is the exact number that he quoted with a huge grin on his face. He's like, I'm about to save 30 grand a year. And he was telling a non-agent, that's how excited he was. I'm switching
Yep.
brokerages and I'm about to save 30 grand a year.
Yep. Yep.
how excited, like it made me excited to see how excited they were. So, all right, well, we've got another meeting to get to. So
Yes,
please
we
reach
do.
out to the person who invited you, who thought enough to invite you to this webinar. Um, and if you have any other questions or anything, please reach out to them. They thought enough of you. And so, without further ado,
Yep, we're here to help
thanks,
otherwise as
JJ. This
well.
was great.
And if yeah, if you have questions, reach out to that person. Otherwise, reach out to us. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Sandy.
Bye.